I see you haven't gotten all the things up on the website yet, and made some expressive remarks about, fair representation. And I looked at the listing there, and I had actually not put her name on there. I went in and I put her name on there. I hit save, I went back and checked it, and it wasn't on there. Okay, and I went in, and I put it in again, and I hit save, and I went back and I checked it. It had gotten thrown to the bottom of the page, out of order. And I looked at this again, I went, okay, and I went in and I did it again, and I put her name on there, and I hit save, and it was all in small print. And I'm looking at this, going, what's going on? I finally got it to save, and then I went and I checked the link where it was supposed to be in the other place, and it wasn't there. And I had to go back and read. And finally, I threw my pen down, and I said, I refuse to participate in this thought process that she has, that she is not supported by anybody. What she was creating was so strong. It was like I was pushing a cart uphill.
You were.
I was.
You were.
To get her in, because her thought process was so incredibly, and I was passively participating in it. I didn't agree with her. I wasn't proactive. This wasn't something I was consciously creating. Nor was I partnering with her and agreeing to her and say, let's co-create this. I was actually passively involved. It was happening around, and it was the strangest thing. I thought something was wrong with my website. And I finally, after I threw my pen down, I sat there for a minute, and I refuse to participate in the energy that she is creating, that she is not supported. That is something that is contained to her field, and I'm going to create a field around her that is contrary, that has a higher vibration, that I will then invite her to raise up. And I did that, and it went in, and it nailed it, and she emailed me 5 minutes later and said, thank you, it looks wonderful. I'm looking forward to being there tomorrow. So how much of the things that are in your life, are you passively participating in the ideas and the concepts that other people are doing? It was amazing. I couldn't believe how many times and her energy was hitting my website. That's how strong it was. And this is what I sort of keep emphasizing every week. The veil is thinning. As we get closer and closer to the end of the Piscean age, the veil of darkness is thinning. And the power of our thoughts has more and more impact on our daily lives. And I so diligently urge you to inventory, become aware, and govern your thoughts. This is like that pebble you throw in a pond and it ripples out, and we don't even though the ripples look small, we may see the first 4 or 5. If you think about it, you know that the energy of that water, even on a molecular level, moves probably even 100, 200 feet beyond where your vision can see it. Every thought that you have creates a reality on levels that are difficult for us to even fathom how profound they are. So it was fun that you were talking about water, because you may notice that outside my office, last week in Sunday services, I was telling you that we had this crock out there that we had put all of these beautiful rose quartz in. And it's a similar theory to the Kangen, that as we put these rose quartz crystals in the crock of water, energetically it realigns it molecularly to fresh spring water as it was coming out of the mountain. And we got enthusiastic. We threw about 20 quartz crystals in there in a rough form. And then I said, okay, let's really cook this pot up. And we threw in some different colored diskettes of the chakras. And then a week later, I said, all right, let's get this party going. And I threw some moldavite in there, which is a change agent. So this water was energized. I know, it's funny, huh? This water was energized beyond all belief. So a couple of days ago, Erin, our programs manager, was lifting another bottle of the 5-gallon sparklets to put inside the crock. It was empty. And I heard this crash. And 5 gallons of water and crystals and crockery were everywhere.
Wow.
All over the lobby, and the magazines were soaked. And we had this crystal crockery water explosion going on in it. And Aaron looked shocked, and he said, "That wasn't all my fault." And I said, "Well, of course it wasn't." He said, and he's very intuitive, and he said, "The crystals were talking to me as this happened." And the rose quartz apparently felt very crowded. They said there was way too many of them in there. They didn't like sharing space with the Moldavite. They said, "We're perfect the way we are. We don't want to change." And they didn't like the fact that they had just been thrown in there and they weren't gridded with purposeful intent.
Wow.
And Aaron was a passive participant in this energy. And they basically, he must have been distracted, and he was putting it in, not completely lazy, but he wasn't like, really focused on what he was doing, and he was just kind of putting it in there, and the crystals took advantage of the fact that he was not completely focused. It was everywhere. So we went, and I sort of rolled my eyes, and I went, I didn't check with the crystals to find out how they wanted to do this. And so now, if you look out there, we put a different one out there. There's a little grid on top, and we're going to get a new crockery that's clear. So Kangen water is one way to do it, but you can actually infuse the crystals. The crystals carry the perfect DNA blueprint of water. And water is, of course, crystallized snow, so you can do that with water. It's many different ways to do it, but so we are going to be getting a different kind of filtering system in there with a clear one, and the next time you see a clear crock in there, you will actually see a grid inside, and they've told me exactly how they want it, but I didn't check with them. Even the energy of the crystals has a consciousness that they were proactively sending a message, and we passively participated in it. I could have partnered with them. I didn't think about it. When I put the crystals in there, I could have gone into a meditative state and said, I would like for you to support the water that we drink. Show me the best way that you can support me in this, and show me the grid. I didn't do that. I just didn't even think about it. I just put them in there. It took us an hour and a half to clean it up. We lost a bunch of magazines, and yeah, we're still picking up pieces of crockery everywhere, and I put a lot of the rose quartz back into the things. But this is what we're dealing with these days. Your body, when your body starts showing up with aches and pains and cancer and things, it is proactively communicating to you that you have not been partnering with it, that you've been passive in the care of your body. And so it will start screaming at you with all of these things. And you have an opportunity to partner with your body and take care of it so that it will support you. You can do this in so many different ways. Does anybody have any examples of things that they think are happening to them that they wouldn't mind in an open forum exploring what level of participation? This is Marina. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marina. You probably appreciated having gone through the water.